The Bachelor's Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa announce breakup. June 13, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. Here is a fact-based summary of the story contents. Here is a simplified version of the story contents. Here is a lighthearted take on the story contents. The Bachelor Season 29's Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa have ended their engagement almost 8 months after he proposed to her on October 31, 2024, and 3 months after the finale aired. During The Bachelor Season 29, Grant and Juliana shared a strong connection, which grew deeper every week. However, Grant was very conflicted between her and runner-up Ellis Juliana when it came time for him to propose. Despite this, Grant and Juliana got engaged, and they seemed happy after the show until they announced their split. The Bachelor Season 29's Grant Ellis and Juliana Pasquarosa have ended their engagement almost 8 months after he proposed to her on October 31, 2024. In an Instagram story, Grant announced his and Juliana's breakup. He shared a picture from their engagement photo shoot and wrote, "This is one of the hardest things I've had to write, but I want to share it honestly. Juliana and I have decided to end our relationship. We both gave this our best and poured a lot of love into each other, but after a lot of deep conversations, we've come to the understanding that we're simply not the right fit long term." Grant continued, "What we had was meaningful. The connection we built on the show was real, and so was the effort we made to continue once the cameras stopped rolling. There's no negativity here. No resentment, just two people who care about each other and want the best for one another moving forward. I'll always be grateful for what we shared and for the growth that came with it." Grant concluded by saying, "Thank you to everyone who supported us and believed in our journey. This chapter is closing, but we're both walking away with love and respect in our hearts." Juliana also shared an Instagram story of her own with a picture of her and Grant meeting on the Bachelor Season 29 premiere night. She wrote, "It's a gift to find someone who sees the world in a way that resonates with you, while also encouraging you to grow. I've been grateful to share that experience with Grant." Juliana went on to say, "Marriage is a commitment, and it's one we both still believe in deeply. After a lot of honest conversations and reflection, we've come to the decision that this chapter of our lives is meant to continue on separate paths." Juliana added, "We shared something meaningful, navigating a unique journey side by side, learning, growing, and showing up for each other the best we knew how. And while this isn't the ending we once imagined, it's one filled with mutual respect, care, and hope for what's ahead." Juliana concluded by saying, "We're still cheering each other on, just from different places now. I'm beyond thankful for all the love and support you all have given us. Please be kind." What Grant and Juliana's breakup means for Bachelor franchise. The Bachelor now has only 3 successful relationships. Although The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise have led to many successful marriages and relationships, currently only 3 out of the 29 Bachelor couples are still together. Zach Shawcross and Katie Biggar got married on May 23, 2025, while Sean Lowe and Catherine Giudice have been married for 10 years and have 3 children. In addition, Joey Graziadi and Kelsey Anderson are still engaged. Grant Ellis' Bachelor Season 29 finale engagement was ruined, but a change to the show's format could save future seasons from the same fate. Grant and Juliana's breakup is yet another example of how getting engaged in such a short timeline during The Bachelor is usually a big mistake, and leads to the couples splitting shortly after the show. While the couples get swept up in the whirlwind romances during the show, when they enter the real world, it's much harder for their relationships to survive, especially because they barely know each other. The Bachelor hasn't been renewed by ABC yet, and Grant and Juliana's breakup could mean that it won't be. Our take on Grant and Juliana's breakup. Although it's always sad to see a couple break up, I think that Grant and Juliana did the right thing by ending their engagement sooner rather than later. They seem to still have a lot of love and respect for each other, so it's better that they parted ways now before resentment and anger built up. They're both kind people with good intentions, so it's disappointing that they couldn't make their relationship work in the real world. I can't say that I'm surprised to see that Grant and Juliana broke up. Grant was so conflicted between Juliana and Licia during the Bachelor Season 29 finale that it was hard to believe that he was all in with his engagement. I'm not saying that he didn't love Juliana, because I believe that he really did. However, I feel that he wasn't ready to get engaged, and he might have proposed due to the pressures of the show. I wish Grant and Juliana all the best as they move on to the next chapters of their lives. Fans of the Bachelor franchise had watched in awe as Grant Ellis, the rugged yet vulnerable heartthrob of Season 29, handed his final rose to Juliana Pasquarosa, an NYC fashion entrepreneur with a sharp tongue, a love for Italian espresso, and eyes that could talk you into anything. The finale had it all: fireworks, a tear-streaked Licia Gare exiting the frame with mascara-smudged cheeks, and a sky full of stars as Grant got down on one knee. But now, less than 6 months after that fairy tale moment, the rumor mill has exploded. Are they still together? Why did Juliana delete that photo? Did Grant unfollow her sister on Instagram? It wasn't long before speculation turned into confirmation. On a humid June evening, both Grant and Juliana posted matching black and white Instagram stories with the words, "After many conversations and a lot of love, we've decided to go our separate ways. This chapter has ended, but the respect remains." Grant and Juliana. What followed next was an avalanche. Chapter 2: The Calm Before the Storm. The days before the announcement were strangely quiet. Grant had been MIA on social media, except for a few golf course stories and a now-deleted TikTok where he lip-synced to a breakup anthem. Meanwhile, Juliana had pivoted to promoting her fashion label full-time, speaking of feminine independence and redefining love in cryptic captions. Still, Bachelor Nation wasn't prepared. Not after watching their after-show special, where Grant whispered "forever" and Juliana blinked back tears. Insiders close to production said the couple had been struggling behind closed doors. According to one source, Grant's idea of a relationship was weekend hikes and homemade pasta. Juliana, she wanted pop-ups in Paris and invites to the Met Gala. Their lives were completely different after the cameras stopped rolling. Another source added, they were in love with the fantasy, but real life hit hard. Chapter 3: When Instagram turned into a battlefield, fans noticed something off a few weeks earlier. Eagle-eyed followers observed that Juliana had archived all the photos from their Bora Bora vacation, including the now-famous champagne on the beach moment. Grant's account went suspiciously quiet, with cryptic story reposts of breakup songs and solitude quotes. One particularly viral Reddit thread, titled "The Grant and Juliana Split Timeline, Receipts Inside," broke down everything, from the last time they were spotted together in LA to the absence of her engagement ring at the Revolve Festival. One comment summed up the heartbreak perfectly. "They were the couple I bet money on. Now I just want to know who broke it off." Chapter 4: The Final Fight. An insider who worked on The Bachelor, after the final rose, shared that the last month had been explosive. Juliana confronted Grant about his lack of support. She felt like he was coasting on the post-show fame while she was grinding. She wanted him to move to New York and take the relationship seriously, but he wanted to stay in Denver and focus on his startup. Another source claims there was a blow-up fight during their trip to Tulum. According to someone staying at the same resort, she was crying in the restaurant. He walked out. It looked like something serious. The next day, they didn't even sit together by the pool. Chapter 5: Juliana Speaks First. 3 days after their breakup post, Juliana broke her silence in a 12-minute Instagram Live. She appeared barefaced and vulnerable, seated in her studio apartment, sipping chamomile tea. The atmosphere was intimate, and thousands tuned in. I know people are looking for a villain, but sometimes there isn't one. We grew apart. I still care about Grant, but we're just not meant to be. When asked if there was cheating, she smiled softly and shook her head. There's no scandal here, no betrayal, just two people who wanted different things. But fans weren't entirely convinced. In a now viral TikTok, one fan stitched Juliana's live with a photo of Grant spotted at a Denver bar with an unidentified brunette, sparking fresh waves of speculation. Chapter 6. Grant tells his side. A week later, Grant sat down with Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. His voice was noticeably shaky. I thought forever meant forever. But sometimes forever is a few amazing months that teach you everything you need to know. He admitted that things got complicated fast. The pressure was insane. I wasn't ready for how public everything would be. I love Juliana, I still do. But loving someone doesn't mean you're meant to be in the same story. He denied rumors of infidelity but admitted, I made mistakes. I shut down when I should have spoken up. Chapter CVN. The ring, the closure, the what-ifs. The 3.2-carat oval diamond Grant had proposed with? According to sources, Juliana returned it without hesitation. It wasn't about the ring, she told Us Weekly. It was about what it represented. That chapter is over. Juliana has since thrown herself into expanding her fashion line. Her latest drop? A capsule called Unbreakable, a collection of power suits for women reinventing themselves. Grant, on the other hand, is reportedly spending more time off the grid. He's been seen hiking in Colorado, reading at cafes, and, according to one fan, attending therapy. Chapter 8. Licia Gur's curious response. And then there's the wild card. Licia Gur, the runner-up, the fan favorite who left the show heartbroken, but with her dignity intact. Shortly after the split announcement, she posted a selfie with the caption, "The truth always comes out in the wash." Bachelor Nation went wild. Was she hinting that she knew this would happen, or was she simply enjoying a petty moment of vindication? Later, on her podcast, Let's Be Licia, she elaborated. I said it before, I don't think Juliana was ever the one. I think Grant knew it too. But we all play roles, don't we? Chapter 9. Will they reunite? Hope is a stubborn thing, and some fans aren't ready to give up on Grant and Juliana just yet. Dozens of petitions have popped up online, begging ABC to bring them back for a second chance season, a la The Bachelor, after the breakup. OneChange.org petition reads, "They're meant to be. Sometimes people need time apart to grow before they come back stronger." Even Bachelor alumni have chimed in. Katie Thurston commented on one of Juliana's posts. It's okay to choose yourself. You still deserve a fairy tale. Meanwhile, Tyler Cameron tweeted, "Breakups suck, but man, the growth is fire. Wishing both Grant and Juliana clarity and healing." Chapter 10. What now? Where do you go after the fantasy ends? For Grant Ellis, it's apparently inward. In a recent story, he wrote, "Healing isn't linear. I'm figuring out who I am without the cameras." Juliana's latest move. A planned summer tour across Europe promoting her brand, with a rumored collab with a major influencer. Still, fans can't help but wonder, was this love real? Was it ever meant to last? Or did the bright lights of The Bachelor cast too heavy a shadow on a love that could have survived in the dark? EPIOGUD, a love story with no villains. In a rare joint statement sent to People magazine, weeks after the news broke, Grant and Juliana left fans with a final message. "We didn't fail, we simply finished. Love doesn't always look like forever, and that's okay. We're grateful for the memories, the lessons, and for each other." It was grown-up, respectful, real. Still, for fans who had watched the fairy tale unfold, It was a heartbreaking conclusion to a love story they believed in. Because in the world of The Bachelor, not every rose gets its forever home. And sometimes the most dramatic endings are also the most human.